but don't expect any pacing. There are 200 points up for grabs for potentially only 6 minutes of work here on Saturday night in the Coliseum.
Thank you, Mike, and those 200 points are huge. As in lane 5, Matt Fraser is starting to pull away from the field. This is probably the last best chance that some of these athletes have to reel him in. Pat Vellner is one of them.
You know, I tell you what, Matt is doing what Matt does. But Vellner has been unbelievable through this entire weekend with all of the pitfalls he's had. And I'll tell you what, you take that 35th place on that very first event where it was an equipment failure, give him about 50 more points or so, and he's sitting right in that second place spot with the big hunt. So I'm looking for something big with him. But Matt is, like you said, starting to pull away. And the problem for the field is Matt is good at bar muscle ups, and Matt is good at snatches. So this is a great event for him, bad for the rest of the field.
The final heat is underway in these back-to-back events as we close out the third day of competition here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
And as these guys step out onto the floor, they have to remember they've done these movements, they've done them in a multiple of different ways, multiple different weights. They have to trust their training because guess what? It is going to hurt, but they have to know exactly when to shut down, when to take the rest, and how short that rest can be so they can maximize this, but they got to embrace that pain because it will hurt.
The fight for the lead is going on between France and Australia as Willie Georges on the top of your screen is fighting with James Newberry for first place. There are 54 repetitions in this event. The leader's name will be highlighted in the blue box at the top of your screen. The number in the white box will indicate how many repetitions that man has completed. Right now, everybody on that lead pace. Matt Fraser threw 19 of those 54 repetitions, and Fraser has taken the lead.
Man, just look at Matt go.
Lucas Hoberg in the middle of your screen is in second place. He trails Fraser by 78 points. So Fraser and Noah Olson are the first men to that 135-pound barbell as they start their round of 9. Willie Georges, he's on the far left, also there as well. These are your standings. Coming into the event, Fraser with 712 points, 78 points up on Lucas Hoberg, 96 points up on Brent Fikowski, and 100 points up on Patrick Vellner.
And Matt is extremely smart. His situational awareness is beyond belief. He knows exactly where everyone is. He'll take strategic breaks, but he sees exactly where Noah is. He knows how far along he is, and he knows how fast he needs to go.
Willie Georges on the left, Noah Olson is on the right. The two of them trying to put Matt Fraser for the lead here as now Lucas Hoberg is on his second round of bar muscle-ups. Set of 9, 54 total repetitions here in this first of 2 back-to-back events. 200 points up for grabs tonight.
In a unbroken set by Noah Olson, a broken set by Matt Fraser. So what I like is that Noah's really pushing the pace here. He needs those points. Matt, that's a shocking break, but again, it's this last set, which is really going to be the telltale sale.
This is the set of 6. Willie Georges on the left, Noah Olson is in the middle, and it's Matt Fraser on the right, and Fraser may not be winning, but he is ahead of the men who are right behind him in the overall standings, and right now that's all that matters for the 2-time defending champion as Noah Olson moves on for his final set, and here comes Matt Fraser, and the crowd comes to its feet to watch this showdown. Who will break first?
Look at the way that Noah's doing that. He's actually pushing himself. Oh!
Fraser's off. Willie Georges, Viva la France!
Wow!
He sneaks in ahead of Olson and Fraser. Fraser will finish second. And here comes Pat Vellner. So Vellner looks like he's going to keep Fraser within striking distance as he doesn't surrender too much ground. But Lucas Hoberg and Brent Fikowski, the 2 men in second and third overall, are still on the competition floor. Hoberg just coming across the finish line. Dean Linder-Layton is in. Brent Fikowski is in the army green tank top. He's on the right of your screen. Cole Sager is the other man left on his final set of bar muscle-ups, and Sager continues to work. He will come across, but Brent Fikowski will finish last in this heat. and he is going to surrender a ton of points to overall leader Matt Fraser. And remember, this is the fourth and final heat. There are times from the prior 3 heats that are factoring in right now. Willie George is going to win the event. Matt Fraser takes second, and Cody Anderson's time from the prior heat is third. So Matt Fraser was in that lead pack to start, and that's all he needed to do.
You know, and I think Hobart was chasing him down. Same thing with Vellner, but Matt does what Matt does, and he's looking to see exactly what's happening so he can figure out just how to push that pace. We talked about trusting that training, and we know that Matt can do all kinds of good work. Noah Olson, what I loved about this is he took a chance. It wasn't too early, it was at the appropriate time. Really pushed that issue and was forcing Matt into that red zone as well. I thought Noah was going to be able to go unbroken, and as he got there, you could see the struggle. And as he started to fail, same thing with Matt. Willie George just slides on in there. Again, if you are able to do those sets unbroken, you're going to have the best finish, and that was superbly done by Willie.
Willie George, his first appearance at the CrossFit Games, the first man from France to represent his country as an individual at the CrossFit Games, and he gets his first career event win, beating out Matt Fraser in the process. So a nice feather in the cap for Willie George. The second couplet is up next. It is BiCouplet number 1. It is event number 11. The weight comes down and the movement on the pull-up bar gets a little simpler.
Well, we saw these guys and how fast they push this. All we do now is we ramp up the intensity. These guys will be able to do larger sets, and they're going to go faster, and it's going to hurt. You can see Matt shaking out those forearms. So that's the issue. Not how fast can they go, but are they going to be able to hold on to that bar with all of these individual pulling movements?
Let's send it down to Mike Arsenault on the competition floor.
Thank you very much, Sean. So a question for Bill again. Willie George, a tremendous performance here on event number 10. So he potentially went to the red line to give himself potentially 100 points in event number 10. What does he have left in the tank? Is there anything he can do besides, of course, breaking up his reps to try and get a little more feeling in the forearms during this break before event number 11?
The fact that Georges did not fail is a feather in his cap. And what I mean by saying that is Matt and Noah, they hit that red line, so that you saw that they were having to deal with shaking out the arms a lot more. I think that Willie is in a great position to have a great finish, and the fact that those other guys burned out, that's good for him. Now with Matt, we saw him fail, which we don't normally see. We saw him struggle and come down. He's going to push his tempo. He wants to extend that lead, but I don't know if he's going to be able to have it in the tank or not.
Final heat for the men in event number 11 is underway, and everyone's still chasing the overall leader, Matt Fraser.
And these keys do not change. You need to trust your training. You need to know exactly how hard to push, how long to push, and how short to take those rests and embrace the pain. We saw that Noah Olson was embracing that pain and went a little bit over the line, having that fail. Willie Georges did exactly what he needed to do. He knew exactly how hard to push, and he embraced the pain and hung on.
Willie George came into this event in 9th place overall. Dean Linder-Layton is the man in the lead. There are now 90 total repetitions in this event. 85 pounds on the barbell and chest-to-bar pull-ups. So Dean Linder-Layton, who has an event win under his belt earlier in the day in the Madison Triplets when we kicked things off on Saturday. Looking to follow that up with an event win here, but it is early. In this final heat for the men, the time to beat belongs to Rasmus Anderson, 4:03.93 seconds.
You know, and Dean did start off very strong in the last event as well, with his snatches and those bar muscle-ups. Failed and started sliding to the back. So does he know to kind of reel it back just a touch? We're going to have to wait to see.
Matt Fraser 3 reps back of Dean Linder-Layton, and Fraser has increased his overall lead. Unofficially right now, he is 114 points ahead of Patrick Vellner, who has moved into second place. He is tied with points with Lucas Holmberg. And Vellner looks like he's starting to hit a little bit of a wall here.
You know, and I wouldn't expect that on a gymnastic style movement by him. I'm mean, the fact that he's sitting down, that's a bad thing. We don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and rest, so he needs to make sure he stays on his feet to really limit that rest time.
Once again, Willie George, he's on the far part of the competition floor. He and Dean Linder-Layton closer to your camera, fighting for the lead. These are your updated standings now coming in to event number 11. Matt Fraser with 806 points, and now he has a more Matt Fraser-like lead.
But I love the fact that Vellner has moved himself up into that tie for second place spot. Again, we still have 100 points here to get. We have a whole nother day, so Vellner's he's not done yet. Want to see how much further he can march up.
Willie George is still your leader through 57 of those 90 reps. Now Lucas Hochberg, the chances of him catching Matt Fraser are dwindling with every rep. Now he has to worry about beating the man on the right, Patrick Vellner, who has the tiebreak thanks to his win earlier in the day in the Chaos event. The winner of this event between those two will be in second place overall heading into the final day of competition. And Vellner has opened up a lead on Lucas Hochberg. He's in the pink shirt, that's Hochberg. Now walking up to the pull-up bar. Willie George, your overall leader through 71, now 72 of the 90 total repetitions, looking to go back-to-back here.
So confident. What I love is that he, again, is looking to see exactly where everyone is and being able to adjust himself appropriately to make sure he can get to that finish line.
It's the rookie versus the champ. Matt Fraser is starting to creep up. The time to beat belongs to Rasmus Anderson. George taking a look to his left to see what Fraser is doing, and Willie George continues to work, and now just 9 pull-ups remain for the Frenchman. Matt Fraser moving to the pull-up bar as well. Willie George getting to work first. George is off. Fraser's all by himself. Fraser continuing to work. He will take a break. Willie George will win the heat. Matt Fraser will come in second, and rumors of Matt Fraser being human have been greatly exaggerated. Pat Vellner trying to hold off Lucas Hochberg and take sole possession of second place overall, and Vellner will do just that.
Great finish by Pat, he needed that.
Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson is finished. Lucas Hochberg trying to hang on to third place now as Brent Fikowski is in. And remember those times from the prior heats, they will factor in. Noah Olsen is across the finish line. And Lucas Hochberg, with every second that ticks by, he is losing points.
And we got to remember we have a lot of other people in those other heats, so you can't let yourself just sit down. This takes too long. Even going singles is better than sitting down there and waiting.
Pat Vellner, bottom left, he will be in second place all by himself. Lucas Hochberg now just trying to stay on the podium because Brent Fikowski, the man who was in fourth place coming into this event, has already come across the finish line. And Hochberg now just trying to do damage control as Cole Sager comes across, and that'll be good for Brent Fikowski as well. Hochberg will get in inside that 6-minute time cap. And now James Newberry is in, and that will close out day number 3 for the men. But Willie George, the impressive rookie out of France, wins event number 10, takes second in event number 11.
Great finish. We were wondering if we'd be able to do something like this where someone would win both events in their heat. George looked unbelievable. He
only missed it by 2 seconds. Rasmus Anderson will take the event.
But Linder-Layton, again, on that first round, looked unbelievable. Strong on the snatch, looked great on the pull-up, seemed to move himself out there. But Willie George just hung in the entire time. Again, we talked about knowing your training, knowing when to push. And I love the fact that we had these two guys going back and forth, rookie versus the veteran, both watching each other to see what they needed to do, how hard they needed to push, being very aware of what was going on, making their way to that final bar. But we had that both of them broke George was able to get up there, and what a great finish by Willie.
Rasmus Anderson, his time from the third heat stands. Willie George takes